This is a story of me wanting to try out my Komorebi watercolor palette, especially the neon colors that I don't usually have in any other palettes that I use. It's also a story of a failed portrait, or at least it having very many ugly faces. So, stay a while and listen for the story of a hairless Lady Grinch who had many faces. She went for a face redo, got a botched nose job, entire face reconstructed, and then over the top makeover, theatrical moments, and in the end remade herself as some kind of a lady hidden within the neon colors. At this point I had already given up, ended for the day, but then the next day I decided to sketch out the face again, trying to form the face again there and start repainting. I start lifting the colors as I know the paper can take quite rough handling, so I can then get the brighter areas where I want. And then I start repainting some areas. But it just ended up looking like a botched nose job, face reconstruction, lip fillers and everything. So it wasn't quite what I had in mind. I continued on with the face, adding some details here and there, but then eventually I still didn't like it. I don't like the nose or then the mouth, and I was envisioning this smiley face with the laugh lines. I also end up blending those out a bit and eventually removing entirely. So the overall idea or initial plans change quite a lot as the painting goes forward. Then I lifted out the entire nose yet again. I still didn't like it. I started reworking on the nose, but then I eventually also started reworking the entire face, of which I didn't have a click here. So it turned out quite theatrical, which reminded me of Rocky Horror Show. The pink areas in the background started to look like it's her hair, which was not intended. So I will be then now reworking on the right and the left side, adding some details, but eventually I mean to blend the character more into the background without the pink areas looking like it's her hair. She's just merging in with the colors. So I end up then removing the ear entirely from the left side to have less details of the face there, like I did kind of with the neck area already as well. Then I started adding the white color that is in the palette, but eventually once it dries out it won't be then that visible anymore. Then I decided to tint the background more, leaving less white areas in there, and then also tinting the face area and lifting a bit of highlights back. And then I did final retouches to the face after adding a bit of more green also into the face, and then eventually I also ended up removing the heart entirely. I felt it wasn't needed there anymore, and it also added to the theatrical feeling. So we went from this to this, and then nose jobs, and to the final phase after the theater moments. So ends the story. It's not necessarily a recommended journey, but at least maybe a lesson on when to give up and when you can still work on the piece if you so wish. And don't get freaked out by the ugly faces. Pretty much every painting goes through that, but maybe not as this many times.